Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Reiwa no Dara-san chapters 29 to 31, the middle segment of volume 4. I am excited to read as always because I've been completely obsessed with the series. I have loved it. It has been one of the most fun things I have ever read for the channel. I have just enjoyed myself so much getting to go through this manga. And last time we got the seven, what was it, like the seven mystery stuff and the prep for the school festival, and I don't know if we'll actually see any of the school festival from Hinata's perspective or not. Now that we know, Kaoru showed up, and then now we went to hang out with Dara-san, I don't know if we'll cut over and see Hinata's perspective any, or if we just spent the day with Kaoru and Dara-san. We got Lolly Dara-san as part of that. I was left saying, I don't know if too many other people interacting with Dara-san or knowing who Dara-san is, like Chiyo, would lessen the impact of the relationship of Dara-san with the siblings, but at the same time, I would really like to see more of Chiyo and Dara-san. Maybe she just doesn't really know that Yamada is the Yamatagi Madara, and she could hang out, her and Nagi hang out with Yamada at some point without really knowing her true identity, but we will see how things end up. Either way, I don't think there's much else to say. Let's go ahead and start reading with chapter 29. So we have, deep in the mountains, Yamatagi Madara slept. Overflowing miasma enveloped her body like a cocoon, making it difficult to approach her. It's another year closer to the end of the grace period you mentioned. I've kept at it like you asked, but as expected, I'm reaching my limit. Right. Back when that thing was awakened, that Shrine Maiden Amalgam must have spent all her power to buy us these 8 years. I'd imagine that once it wakes up, regardless of what it might look like, it'll still be the serpent bearing its fangs at those who dared to oppose it. We do not know what sort of temperament this newly born mountain god might possess, but we need to be prepared for anything. So we're getting a time skip with the flashback story. Neat. So, what are we going to do? We're going to divert it. If we had more time, ideally I or a girl from the village could have borne you a child. We'll have to resort to something a bit more bloody instead. I could ask the villagers to offer a few human sacrifices, but I doubt they'd listen to someone inexperienced like myself. Looks like I'll be counting on you to put in the work, Jurota. Though the sealed serpent Yamatagi Madara may have been a troublesome Aragami, he was also a guardian spirit, a presence that spanned the two mountains. Now, having vanished after that tumultuous fray, a new great demon who inherited his power has been born. The land's spiritual energy is in chaos, and the faith of the people wavers. We shouldn't think that we can control a god, but stacking stones can still help guide the river's flow. Again, I bring it up pretty much every read-through, loving the world building of this city, but I love the way we're taking old rural folk religion for Japan and having it as part of the world building of the supernatural aspects. And just how how developed it is in a world building sense, like I was saying, but I tend to really like series where it feels like they're grounded in a certain way. I like crazy, wild, wacky, out there stories too, but I like it when it's mostly grounded outside of the one supernatural thing. I think a great example to bring up is not in anime and manga, but one thing I always loved about The Walking Dead is you play a lot of zombie video games or see zombie movies and stuff, and there will be some wild out there stuff like zombies that basically have superpowers and stuff. But with The Walking Dead, it was basically just the normal, ordinary world, realistic in pretty much every way, except that there were zombies. It's there's the one twist, the one supernatural aspect, but outside of that, things are mostly just grounded. I like settings like that a lot. Again, I like wacky out there stuff that makes its own weird, unique alien world that's nothing like the real world. I like that too. But that's something else that I like about the spiritual aspects of Reiwa no Dara-san here, is that it is basically like, okay, this like Japanese folk religion stuff is true, and that's why there are priestesses that work how they work, and Dara-san who works the way she works, but it's really it's really mundane. It's writing something supernatural in a way that feels everyday. So I think it's really good. But continuing on, we get the frontispiece actually. 29th Strange Encounter. And we have what looks like somebody making offerings to the shrine. Is this... well, maybe not. I was gonna say, is it going to be young Chiyo or something? Because it reminded me of when Dara-san, like the hands at the top, reminded me of when she was on top of the shrine. And we're starting with Chiyo. Okay, maybe it is actually. And then Misozi Age Mutant Oxans. Okay. What is it, Dad? It's been a while since I've left you in charge of the mountain. Have you noticed any changes? Let's see. On the day of the festival, there were signs that some troublemakers cut through the chain-link fence and broke in. But nothing in particular since then. I see. Yeah, because she wouldn't have even found the body, so she wouldn't even know. It's like all the evidence just disappeared. Other than the fact that they cut through the fence. Hinata and Kaoru spend a lot of time playing in the mountains, don't they? It's fine as long as they don't go anywhere dangerous. But they'll be fine, old man. 23 years earlier. Okay, so we are flashing back. The Misugiya siblings' mother, Chiyo, who was a 17-year-old high school student at the time. So 23 years ago, she was 17, so she's 40 now. And Hinata's only, like, I forget how old she turned. She's 14 or 15? So she ended up having kids 14 or 15 years ago. I guess that would make sense. She went to college, spent a bit of time outside of it. Because didn't they say that she met their father in college, maybe? So, trying to put together the timeline here. Attending a high school that was about a 15-minute train ride away. Twice per month, she would go into the mountains to help manage the Forbidden Zone. In particular, she handled the Hokora containing the cursed arm. In contrast to her father's weak spiritual sense, she possessed a superior spiritual aptitude that allowed her to quickly detect any unexpected changes. She volunteered herself to take on this responsibility because of that. And she's cleaning everything, and then setting up the offerings. And it's kind of cute because we've seen Dara-san eating like the instant noodles and stuff. I'm just like looking at some of the names on these. We have Poodle Noodle and Pai Pai no something. I'm not sure. It's too like small and blended together. Kichiku Big. What does it say? Kaimo. Goods? No, that wouldn't have been good. I can't. Moguzu? Like, no. I am being really, really stupid. Like, one looks like mole, but then one just looks like mole reversed. Am I am I forgetting my katakana? Then we have her clap after giving the offering. These offerings might be pretty junky, but gods must get tired of having just sake and uncooked rice all the time, right? Now, if you'll excuse me. Chiyo, you've served the mountain enough. It's time for you to stop. Mom, your father's too thick-headed to notice, but ever since you started helping on the mountain, you just don't seem yourself. You look completely worn out. But I'm not sick, and I haven't really lost any weight. Well, that's not quite it. Even though Mom's words were a bit vague, I had the look of death upon me. For a long time, and again, art here looks really cool. For a long time, I've had the ability to see things that aren't of this world. I don't know much about ghosts and such, but I try to avoid those kinds of things that people shouldn't get involved with. I'm not sure how long this thing's been haunting me, but I don't think this has anything to do with Omatagi-sama. She's very strong, and she's a fearsome god of curses. However, she doesn't curse you without a reason. Chio? Chio! And she's bleeding from the nose. We saw adult her like that. Is it from the exposure? And Unko all over her clothes. We've seen that on clothing before, so it must just be a brand in this world. An unexplainable coma, and an unheard of drop in body temperature. Why? Miss Doctor? Your daughter was clutching this tightly when she was brought in. It must be something very important to her. And we have the bell, rumbling at the shrine. I guess just goro goro and za. So that's just the lightning and rain sound effects. If that girl's done something to upset you, please allow me to take responsibility instead. If you could somehow forgive her, please save her. And we see Dara-san is at the shrine, but of course, he can't see her. And, ooh, a very sexy panel. I feel like, as we've gone along, the first volume, especially the first few chapters, the fan service was nuts. There was a lot of it. It feels like we still get some here and there, but we've gotten a lot less as things have gone on. I mean, I guess in this circumstance, it's probably because Dara-san used to be naked and now she's not naked anymore. Okay, maybe that's why. But I could use some more. I'd like a little bit more of the fan service. Step it up a little. But this looks very, very good. Especially, Volume 1, we got the Kaudu swimsuit stuff. We got the Kaudu succubus. Like, bring us back there a bit. And we're back to the hooks within Chio. So I'm assuming she's cursed by something else. It's not Dara-san, like she's saying, but Dara is the answer to protect her from whatever this curse is. Ugh, something's being pulled out. I've almost devoured you down to your very core. Should I draw in my line and lift you up, or draw out a net to catch you? And again, the horror, very, very well done throughout this. I can't scream. Like, I think horror-wise, this is just one of the better manga I've read in that aspect too. Even though so much of it is the fun slice-of-life comedy, and that's done very well, the horror is done so well. Should I grill it? Should I boil it? Wouldn't it be fine to gulp it down while it's still raw? Omatagi-sama, help me. Yurang. And she kills it. Looking very cool. A fairly old demon with nowhere else to turn. I'm not sure where you picked up something like that. But your spirit has grown stronger from staying near the shrines for so long. It repels weak spirits but has the opposite effect on stronger ones. You probably look like a treat to them. That bell is just a warning. It serves only to notify me when someone approaches the shrine, but I don't really care to see the caretaker of my land get eaten. This dress decoration, it seems like it conceals that tasty spiritual energy of yours. Omatagi-sama? Forget about tonight. Just focus on your duties, and don't sweat the little things. She smiles. And we have a crack, a dunk. Okay, I guess where she's setting up the offerings again, we have a bunch more, and it's all like junk food. Thank you very much for the other night. You look cool as shit. She didn't forget any of it. So cute. Oh my gosh, I love this panel. It's adorable. Wasn't she only half conscious? She was practically dreaming. Have I gotten myself too involved? I don't know if you're listening right now, and I realize this is a bold request, but please protect not only me, but also my descendants for generations to come. Okay, this is asking kind of a bit. And we have her eating. Alright. Just reading what everything is. If I feel like it. And cut to the present day. Dara-san, let's bake yams. Yam bake. We're gonna cut them up and wrap them in foil. You guys are just assuming I'm gonna help you hide all the fire and smoke and evidence so no one will find out, aren't you? Honestly, you're worse than your mother when she was younger. Huh? Well, she was making offerings in a perfectly respectful way. It's just that some of them were nasty. Today we have crab omelet with fried and twice cooked pork. With rice and twice cooked pork. For a while after the incident, the offerings from the Misagiya household got a little ridiculous. Over time, they eventually returned to normal. Now we have Nakuru Jaji, Knuckle Judge, from Gobcom. 2-player head-to-head, hand-to-hand. A fighting game played by Dara-san and Kaoru in Chapter 25, among others. At the start of that chapter, Hinata is wearing a shirt with a Knuckle Judge character design. Gobcom swept the world by storm with Human Hunter, but for those who survived going to arcades in the 90s, they're also remembered as the company who ushered in the golden age of 2D fighting games. While Knuckle Judge isn't a numbered series, it is the spiritual successor to the hugely successful series from Gobcom's arcades. It became a record-breaking hit thanks to the involvement of pro gamers and streamers, major system reworks that made the game more widely accessible, and active participation by famous VTubers. Dara-san has sharp eyes and quick reflexes, so when it comes to footsies, she's demonstrated an almost childish ruthlessness with punishing on elementary schoolers. And I'm just taking in all the panels here. All right. Then we have this is what the shirt was before that she was wearing. 30-plus-year-old mutant wife MILF Rangers. Genetically modified human, a demon from another world, and an extraterrestrial being. These 3 strange-looking housewives need to solve various cases to protect their newly built apartment in this exhilaratingly sexy battle anime. Originally an anime short produced by an independent Taiwanese group, it generated a huge buzz due to its astonishingly high frame count for a team of only 4 people, and for the fact that all 9 characters were voiced, somewhat unsettlingly, by only 2 male staff members. It became fully realized as an anime after a collaboration with a Japanese anime studio. This new version naturally received proper voice acting, but was met with outcry from some who lamented the loss of the unique atmosphere of the original version. So when the DVDs were released, all episodes were also included the original audio tracks with the 2 male voice actors. I wonder, is this a reference to an anime story that I don't know? Because I've never heard of an anime story similar to this. Like, not literally the 30-year-old mutant wife MILF Rangers, but the, 2 staff members voicing everyone and then it getting made by an actual Japanese studio. I've never heard of a situation like that. But either way, very, very good chapter, leaning more on the serious side, more on the horror side, and it was very, very well done. I love the continuing of the modern, well, not the modern day story, obviously, but I meant the flashback storyline. I love all of that, and the comedy that we did have was very, very funny too. So again, I kind of repeat myself a lot with this, but in all of the different aspects that Reiwa no Dara-san juggles, because it juggles so many different genres really, it just nails it with all of them, I feel like. And the art looks very, very good. So with that aside, let's continue into chapter 30. And if there are any weird jump cuts that I look disheveled after, I feel like I'm going to sneeze this entire time. I feel like I've been on the verge of sneezing, like the whole read through so far. So either way, let's read chapter 30. We're starting with Dara-san here. When that grotesque god finally awakens, will it manifest as the vengeful spirit of a priestess with the absorbed spiritual power of a fierce mountain god? Or will it simply be the serpent Aragami assimilated with the priestess's body and possessing her skills? How much of a difference is there between the threat that each possibility poses? We won't know for sure until it finally awakens, but no matter how things pan out, it'll be reborn with the priestess as the foundation. It'll certainly become something that shares a close bond with you, Jurota. If that's indeed the case, it will still be a god of the mountain, as long as it still has that one side to it. Rather than exorcise or seal it, it's better to rely on it. The great demon is bound to the land, the great demon's bound to the land it's enshrined upon, and you, Jurota, have received divine protection and have been bestowed the role of mountain guardian. I'll have you assume the roles of both land guardian and priest, and by deifying the shrine area itself as a sacred object, we may be able to somewhat control the flow of power into that creature we call Yamatagi Marara. The years and months, like running water, will shave down the raging curse god's horns, until someday, regardless of what it is, that sleeping calamity that dwells in the mountains is trampled underfoot. But when the time comes, don't act like you earned everything yourself. Even the old man wasn't that conceited. And if by some chance this so-called godly diversion doesn't work out, then, Jurota, we'll have to forge your bloodline with sorcery. And again, we're setting up cool stuff like we were last time. Going into 30th Strange Encounter, and we have Snowball fight Dara-san. Cute. Very cute. Winter break. We're already at winter break. We were just at summer break not that long ago. This year at Kaoru School, it lasts from December 23rd through the 8th day of the new year, compared to summer vacation, which for him often involves a lot more social interaction and outdoor activity, and we just see the bare glimpse of Kozue back there. Winter break is a time he normally enjoys to its fullest at home. However, this time is different. December 26th, Tuesday. I forget what art style it is. Kaoru's face here is reminding me of something else I've read. Dara-san's Spirit World House. We didn't do that this time. I made this cake out of stuff I stole from home. Happy belated Christmas. This creature is the kind that eats humans that slip into the spirit world. See chapter 15. I guess the part about these bugs not actually caring about living things was true. Dara-san's face. December 30th, Saturday. Time for a big end of year cleaning. It's finally time to do Dara-san's house. We've been wanting to do this for a while. Well, look, you've got to consider my supernatural phenomena happening standpoint here. It's important to maintain that ruined house atmosphere. Also, if they clean it, doesn't it just go back to normal? I thought that's how the house worked. I don't 100% remember. We can only come today because we'll get yelled at if we don't clean up at home tomorrow. So you'll have to forgive us, okay? I don't know whether to praise you for cleaning or scold you for barging in on my spirit world house. Now, look here. We'll even fix up that shoji that we punched 100 times. Okay, they're even fixing the door they broke, or the window. How are you so ridiculously handy? By the way, our New Year's visits are going to be Hirahiro Shrine with our whole family on the first day, Jiofuku Temple with our friends on the second day, visiting you on the third day. Why me? The face. We were told not to go to the mountain Hokura, so we're going straight to the deity instead. We're pretty good at following instructions, you know. Are you now? I guess you might be. Aren't we such good believers? I don't know if that's belief. We believe you'll open a portal for us. That's a different kind of belief. Of course, once those 3 days were over, it was back to business as usual. I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to see the shrine visits. I kind of wanted to see more. I almost don't really like that we went from summer vacation all the way to winter vacation already. I feel like I'm missing out on so much. I wanted to see them visiting with their family and that to be something, and them visiting with their friends. But we're already to the 4th. And we have Murph Kaoru. Isn't it kind of unfair that your tail has no hit detection? Well, yeah, but I think I'd rather lay the blame on him for trying to take cheap shots like that. Then how about a close combat battle? They played in the winter mountains until they were nearly exhausted. Actually, I think this is even more advantageous for you, right? The multiple arms. Dara-san only acts immature when she's playing, huh? And the result, because just like the fighting game, Dara-san just does not hold back against Kaoru. Just complete defeat. A cold? Sorry, I won't be able to come to the mountain today. What's the matter with you? Then a bunch of coughing and sneezing through the phone. Coughing and sneezing, huh? Don't force yourself to talk. It's been dripping out like a leaky faucet. This is my fault, isn't it? Because this abnormal body of mine can no longer feel hot or cold, I was unable to properly take care of you two when we were up in the wintry mountains. It's fine. You don't really need to take it seriously. Anyway, I'm just gonna rest until I get better. Take good care of yourself. I may have been given the titles of Curse God and Mountain God, but I am ultimately a god of darkness. Though I've managed to suppress the miasma being in my presence. Being in my presence may carry some adverse health effects. I should have been more assertive in rejecting them. It would probably be best if I didn't show up around them anymore. If you did that, I'd probably die from stress, though. I didn't end the call. No, haha, still not used to the smartphone, huh? You should set up all your social media accounts. Is that why you gave it to me saying it was your old one? Hurry up and get some sleep. Honestly, is he even lying down properly? And we see scrying in. Come in. Checkup time. And we have the Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster, Doctor and Nurse, Hinata and Gio. Noofufufu. What the hell? How are you feeling, Kaoru-kun? I have a runny nose and I'm coughing, and when I sneeze it hits the back of my throat like a sonic boom and it really hurts. Scalpel? We have a cheese grater. Or, I guess, in this case, apple, maybe? Here. Apple? Here. If you want your grated apple yogurt and hot milk with honey, you have to take your medicine. This is just to get me to take that powdered stuff, right? You tricked me. Seems like he's doing better than we thought. I couldn't down powdered medicine when I was his age either. It's good that he's taking it so well. Foo-foo. My knowledge of medicine is useless in this modern age. None of the techniques that I possess are effective against such illness. Honestly, kinda weird that Dara-san's naked this chapter. She's been wearing clothes a lot lately. For now, I'll do the best I can, within the forbidden zone of Dara-san's western mountain, Mount Yugi. No headwaters of any major river can be found. However, further up from the former site of the shrine that once housed the elder priestess and her family, there exists a spot along the river with a 4-meter tall waterfall. And she goes there in disguise. It's possible that it's meaningless to do a cold water cleansing ritual since I can't feel the cold, but I can at least go through the motions while I pray for a speedy recovery. Now that I think of it, I've never really properly done this ritual. I wonder how many days I'm supposed to do this for? I guess around 3 days should do. 2 days later, recovery. No. All that's really happened is that your fever's gone down and your coughing and runny nose have stopped, right? And, hello, Dara-san? I'm all better and I want to go out and play. Where are you now? No. You should really take it easy to make sure you fully recover. I agree with that sentiment, but... Okay, I get it. I'm coming over there now. The insane Dogeza. You need to take it slow or you'll just get sick again. You're completely drenched, and it's weird for you to be using your legs while you're out on the mountain. I was just in the middle of a midwinter swim. In what kind of swimsuit? Just my kimono undershirt. Duh. Dara-san's prayers for Kaoru's quick recovery weren't very effective. Rather, they got him so excited that he ended up getting a little sick again. And now we have the Murph Enjoy Toy Gun Fighting page. A series of toy guns with that fire... I thought we already had a Murph page before. That fire spongy darts. Maybe it was just when it was first introduced and we had the, note at the bottom. Maybe it wasn't a full page. Originally the product of an overseas manufacturer, a Japanese branch has been formed. Some models sold by this new branch are inspired by guns appearing in anime and other Japanese media. Their range varies based on the type as well as the original release date, but even the shortest range guns can shoot as far as 8 meters. Some can even reach beyond 30 meters. But it doesn't really hurt to get hit by them, but it's still recommended to wear goggles when using them for safety purposes. Of the Misugiya family members, Kaudu is especially fond of them, and even before meeting Dara-san, he would invite Hinata and his father to engage in shootouts on the mountain. Cute. Then she ended up being forced to create accounts on some maps. And we have Let's Climb a Mountain, Living on the Mountain, Dara-san. Your internet literacy is better than I thought it would be. I am a god, you know, the smug Dara-san. So cute. So cute. That was a really, really cute chapter. Okay. Either way, then. Okay. Either way, then. Moving on, I thought it was really, really, really good again. I'm excited to continue as I always am, and I feel like any more I could say that I didn't say while reading is probably just repeating myself some more, so let's go on to chapter 31. Alright, last one for this week starts with Jurota shares a powerful bond with Yamatagi Madara. If he began worshipping them, they would likely be forced to fulfill their duty to the land, which in turn would strengthen the technique that binds them to it. But the effectiveness of this plan would depend on his own personal abilities and characteristics. It's also unknown how long it might take for this practice to fully take hold. It could take decades. There's a chance it would work if if descendants of his bloodline carried on the tradition. However, since he essentially married into the family of the mountain's god, if he were to marry another human, that bond would lose its meaning. Therefore, we need someone to inherit your blood. A talisman, some medicinal liquids, several metal powders, and some of Jurota's blood were added into an urn, sealed with a written incantation, and had rites performed over them for 9 days. From this ritual emerged several concentrated pitch-black pills. This magic was created a long time ago by some childless family somewhere, or by some troubled nobleman who had been unable to have his own children for decades. To create an external blood relationship. Taboo art, exquisite branching black pearl. And I guess this is how the line of Nagi become the priests to Dara-san. Nagi-san? Anyone who swallows this will inherit your bloodline. Even though it's highly effective against infertility, anyone in their right mind would probably be reluctant to have your blood mixed in with their descendants. Okay. It may have ended up being a blessing in disguise that there were some couples around here who were worried about being unable to conceive due to either the miasma or the corruption of the land. The people of the mountain who'd gathered at Nagi's persuasion had all heard of the atrocity that took place on the mountain. Okay, so if she took it then, and it's Jurota's bloodline, so all of the Nagis are technically descended from Jurota then. Through this Nagi. Potentially. Some were couples clinging to the possibility that they might be able to bear children. And this... Okay, are we going to see, like, because this lady looks somewhat with the hair and face like Kozue. Is this going to be the ancestors of the various characters that we see in the town? Others wished to atone for their sins, a father who was involved in the murder of the shrine maiden among them. Okay. Some were Jurota's friends, and some were those who came forward out of gratitude and affection for the shrine maiden. Again, I wonder if we pair up these character designs with, like, the people that we've seen, like the kids that we've seen in Kaudu and Hinata's friend groups so far, if we could, like, match them up, you know? Regardless of their reasons, on that day they all became Jurota's family. And we see 31st Strange Encounter, and we start with Kaoru, Tomita, and Kozue going to school. You know, Dara-san, we have no brain, no infection. I feel like we've seen that shirt before. Apparently you used to be like a super rascally devil and stuff, but that sounds so lame. Now you're like a guardian of the mountain, or a mountain god, right? It's more of a taking a vengeful spirit or demon and worshipping it as a god sort of thing. It was actually pretty common back in the day. If you really want to be picky about it, you could say I'm on the path to becoming a god. Eh? But honestly, once you find yourself in my position, it still doesn't sink in when you hear you're going to become a god. In that case, what kind of mountain god-like things can you do? What do you mean? There are all kinds of things that mountain gods can do, and we have searching it up, abundant harvests, improving hunting outcomes, make it rain, prevent damage from insects and animals, provide protection from external impurities. There's stuff like that, at least in terms of the spiritual system of the mountain. Spiritual system? The mere presence of a guardian spirit is enough to have an effect on everything, but that doesn't mean I have to do anything. It's more like the power of the mountain itself. Do I have the power to affect the mountain myself? Not really, I think. What even is a mountain god? Why did you suddenly get interested in that again anyway? It's not really suddenly. It's more like the fact that you're stuck, shackled to that restricted area because you're obligated to that place. I just thought that maybe you'd start to be fed up with that kind of thing. Hoo-hoo. Well, I'm pretty deeply involved with that cursed arm in the Hokora, which is the source of this mountain's curse. You're right that I'm obligated in that way, broadly speaking. So if I actually had the power of a mountain god, what kind of scheme were you hoping to involve me in? I have a brilliant plan on how we can spread the word that you're not an evil god. We'll proceed to change the ecosystem. Rodents? We have the symbol of capybaras. If capybaras started casually wandering around or something, it would give off such an easygoing vibe that people would probably think the gods around here must be pretty easygoing. This is definitely just something that you want. Hey, Kaudu, I'll come out after I change clothes. I'll come home, sis. What are you up to today? Youth association stuff. There's gonna be a Valentine's get-together. It's an after-school gift exchange type party. And then translators note it's customary in Japan that only women give chocolate to men on Valentine's Day. So we're, again, just going already to Valentine's Day. So that students don't need to bring chocolate to school. I see. It's not limited to boys getting presents from, boys getting presents from girls. We have neighborly gift passing system formation. So, here's the one you'll be bringing. Huh? Wouldn't it be a problem if your young and innocent followers were to fall in love with some evil woman? They both say. Who's innocent here? Then also, there probably aren't going to be any middle schoolers going, so please go with us. There's the truth. Community center, small multi-purpose hall. Oh, it's Hinata. Yo. Sup, you're just in time. And then, I'm so sorry, I forget her name. Sorry for the holdup. Our companion needed to make some last-minute adjustments. There did end up being middle schoolers here, and we have Lolly Dara-san is back. Last-minute adjustments? This is Yamada-chan. She's the kid of a family friend. Hi, I'm Yamada. Yo, I'm Horonushi. Nice to meet ya. She's my wife. I'm not his wife. Wife, and we have Kanna. I'm not his wife. Then, so, what brought you out here, Hachobori? My mom dragged me here to help out. Right, your mom does stuff like this all the time, doesn't she? Is everyone having fun? Let's get the chairs lined up in numerical order. Draw your lot and sit in the chair that matches your number. We have 4 and 11. That girl from that's the girl from the Tomita family. She ends up beside Kanna. I haven't seen you around before. Oh, she apparently takes the train to a private school, and we have 13 with, Kaoru. Everyone, pass your presents to the person on your right. Oh? Thanks. It's just out of obligation. I mean, you can't really choose partners, right? It's a lottery. Now that I think of it, isn't that a different present than the one you were holding a minute ago, or was that just my imagination? Hoo-hoo. The daughter of the Tomita family, which has watched over the monument left by Jurota for generations. I never thought that I'd have the chance to talk to her in person like this. By your enduring kindness, I am deeply humbled. Deeply, what? It's something that you hear a lot in period dramas. It means that she's really grateful and appreciative, likes period dramas. Oh, is that so? I thought humbled meant you were ashamed or something. Actually, why is she thanking me anyway? Huh? And did she disappear out of embarrassment? She's gone. Then, Dara-san, we thought you already went home. It was too embarrassing me for me to sing and play games with those kids. I was thinking about going back, but I needed to at least return these shoes. The clothes we can worry about later. Now that you mention it, you can't really send a young lady home barefoot, can you? I'd obviously be transforming back. Misugiya-san? Perfect timing. Isn't this terrible timing? We have Amane and the snake. That's the priestess transformed. The real problem is with this girl with the powerful spiritual sense. I can't let her find out that I still crave sustenance. I had been slowly gathering energy from this crowded city. Who would have thought that I'd have to suddenly waste it all on invisibility magic? Here, take this chocolate. You left so quickly that I missed the chance to give it to you after school. Oh, really? Thanks. Something urgent came up, so I'm planning to give everyone their stuff tomorrow. I don't have anything on me right now. In that case, I'll be looking forward to tomorrow. Although these two are rather troublesome to me. You seem to rather like them, don't you, Dara-san? If you were to lose them, would you be able to stay the same as you are now? If you were once again to be engulfed in rage and resentment, would you return to how you were back when I was defeated? The person who gave me chocolate was a boy this year. And then, incidentally, Kaudu ended up giving his chocolate to a 6th grade boy he didn't know. Okay. Only person who gave me chocolate this was a boy this year. Okay. Am I supposed to recognize these two? Or is she just getting jealous? But I guess he didn't, because he wasn't set up to give one to Dara-san. Then we have Jiofuku Temple page. Shingon Buddhist Temple at the foot of Mount Ukoma, adjacent to Mount Yugi where the Misugiya family resides. Having both a long history and offering temple lodgings, it gets decently busy during the tourist season. It's recently become very popular with foreign tourists especially. Festivals are held for the gods Bishamon Tenno and Niyoi Yuzuson, and flea markets and other events are held in the nearby town square. In Chapter 21, the monk that visits the stone monument with the Tomita family is from Jiofuku Temple. Okay, so that's the one we didn't really get to see that they were going to with their friends. Okay, really, really good. I thought it was very fun again. We're setting more stuff up, and I'm very excited for next time because we get to go to the Volume Extra chapter again, and those have been some of the best chapters each time. I really, really enjoyed these three. Again, I think every aspect that the series is doing, it's doing incredibly well. Again, though, like I said in the first chapter, I thought there was a lot more ecchi, a lot more fan service very early on, like Volume 1, and I would like for more of that, honestly. I think that's the one thing that's been toned down, where pretty much everything has either maintained itself or gotten better. I think the serious storytelling, the character stuff was like top tier from the beginning, and it's only continued to be great as we've deepened it with more characters, more locations, more stories and relationships. We've taken something that was always good and we've expanded it out. When it comes to the horror has only gotten more involved and even better. The artwork has been great throughout. I will say the comedy is still very good, and the slice of life is still very good. But if anything, I think maybe the comedy and slice of life has been toned down a little bit from how wacky it was compared to now, where things are more just usual slice of life, but we're doing a lot more of the serious character stuff. And I think the ecchi has definitely been, at the very least, less frequent, for sure, like noticeably less frequent. So I would like some more of that. But that is where I am with things. I think it was great. I enjoyed it so much. So thank you all for being here, for supporting and all of that. Thank you so much for being here, so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters and my first thoughts and reaction to them. Subscribe for more Reiwa no Dara-san, much more on the channel. If you would like to help support the channel by sharing around or dropping a super thanks, it's appreciated. If you want to support the channel by becoming a member or patron, hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, DD Van and Maru, Jeridan Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SGN Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ariel. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.